this! Yeah! 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 Your Majesty! Ah! Time's up! Take this! Like it! Darkness! Your Majesty! Ah! Time's up! Take this! Like it! Take this! Like it! Darkness! Yeah! Like it! Like it! Like it! Take this! Take this! Like it! Take this! Darkness! Your Majesty! Come on! Like it! Darkness! Like it! Your Majesty! Ah! Time's up! Take this! Yeah! Ha! Like it! Darkness!
Alright. Shit, well, that was a mistake. I love it when the mic's off. That's my favorite feature.
Yeah, you were just telling me all about the Lost Woods of the alpha version of Hyrule.
So, they found a lost beta version of Ocarina of Time on an F-Zero development cartridge. And I was just saying that the original Lost Woods in that game was gonna be fucking massive. Like, it was just gonna be a horde of trees in deep mist that you had to, like, stumble your way through, which made a lot more sense story-wise, because it's like, no Hyruleans have ever seen, like, someone from Kakariko, they're, the, like, Kokiris.
Yes.
And it's like, well, why? It's literally like you walk through a fucking outpost in the woods, and then you're, like, in their village. Through, like, a horde of trees, through thick fog, and go through this, like, a four-way puzzle, and, like, that would get you to the village.
Yeah.
Would have made more sense. Scrap that shit.
Yeah.
Captain Hook.
I don't remember Riku fighting him. This is all wrong.
Fire. But yeah, what's really funny though is like, I can see why they cut it, because a bunch of the modders have tried putting all the trees back into where they were supposed to be, because the like metadata is still there, but the trees aren't, right? So a bunch of hackers have tried putting in the trees back into it, and what they found out is that every time they do it, the game immediately crashes.
Huh, I wonder why.
So I'm like, I wonder why that didn't work out. But yeah, I was explaining that, like, the original overworld map was, like, 3 times the size of what the current Ocarina of Time map is. Like, everything was just fucking huge in the alpha and beta builds. They also did, they believe they found what was gonna originally be, like, where you find the Forest Temple, which... You remember the Forest Temple, it's like that maze, hedge maze, and then there's like a castle like deep in the woods by a tree. Yeah, originally it was just gonna be like this huge open area that like you would climb, you would walk down the path and it would bring you to this just big ass regal looking building, and that was like the original Forest Temple layout. The Forest Temple, on the other hand, was originally way smaller.
It's
huge
in that game.
Yeah,
it's right.
It's microscopic in the fucking in the
Beta
alpha
version?
in the alpha beta version. Like the Ganon fight is literally like a platform that's like 2 links wide. You just like don't fall off.
It's 2 links wide.
And, like, you could fall off the platform, but they didn't give you a way to get back up, so it's just like, don't get knocked off.
Well, if I do, you're fucked.
They didn't have the elevator you had to unlock. It's literally a tiny staircase. Like, literally, like, the whole staircase is, like, the width of Link. It looks ridiculous.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool shit they found. They found the original water temple. You know how the water temple is known for being, like, annoying and confusing?
Yeah, one of the most complicated
It's got, like, 3 layers of water. Yeah, the original one was gonna have 5 layers of water, and it was fucking huge.
Well, I'm glad they did what they did, because I think people would have had even more of a problem if they did that.
It looks so much cooler than the final one, though. Like,
Yeah.
it looks like an underwater Japanese, like, shrine.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, like, it looks really sick, but, yeah, it was originally gonna be, like, 5 stories tall with 5 different layers of water, like...
Wow.
Oh, yeah. They dropped it down to 3, and it's still obnoxiously confusing
I don't know
now.
what you're talking about. It's one of the most easy dungeons in all of the Zelda franchise.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Some people, it's their favorite dungeon. Most people, it's not.
I want to, like, play through, because I've never actually beaten Ocarina of Time, but, eventually I want to get around to beating it, and I want to actually just do the water dungeon blind and see how confusing it actually is, because there's a lot of things that get way blown out over time.
Oh,
just like...
people are like, it's the worst dungeon ever made, and I'm like, it's not the worst, but it's not great.
So, yeah, I'm, like, actually curious how miserable it really is.
Like, I have it for the 3DS. I still need to finish it.
Yeah.
I have beaten it when I was a kid. But it's been many years.
Because they had, like, the Phantom Tower or something from Phantom Hourglass, and I remember everyone was like, this is the worst dungeon ever, and I remember playing it and being like, it's fucking easy. it's not like it's complicated. It's a little time-consuming, but it's not like it's hard.
Yeah, I think that was people's problem. They were like, it's too time-consuming!
And, like, it's not even... It's like, you just don't be stupid, and then you can get through it really quickly.
Whoa, Chris! You're overestimating some people.
Oh, fair enough. What's the, oh, what the hell is it? They had, like, one more, but I can't remember what it was. Something stupid about...
You did tell me when the mic was muted that the,
Well, I think your
Kakariko
house...
Village is
Yeah.
it's just a flat plane of
Oh,
nothingness.
yeah, like, they found the Alpha Kakariko Village, and it's just a flat plane with, like, 8 houses on it, all lined up in a row, with, like, a single walkway leading down them.
That's funny as fuck to me.
And it's just like, this was the first thing they built. I have no doubt that that is the first thing they built in Ocarina of Time.
I am with 100% with that.
Because they were probably just like, how do we make 3D shit?
I completely agree with that, you know.
Oh yeah, fucking, they found that beta dungeon that they used in all the early Zelda 64 trailers too. Like the one that's like, this weird like enter spiral where you fought that golden knight. And
Yeah.
They found that in like full working condition. Which is pretty sick. What's the, oh man, what's that other one they did though? It was, not the graveyard, not the fucking Gerudo village. It was fucking... I think it was... oh yeah, the plane, that's what I wanted to talk about. The fucking... Because it was cut off with Microsoft, but the fact that the original Hyrule Field is like 3 times the size of what we have
But
now.
it's just so
but
empty.
It's just fucking empty. There's just nothing fucking in it. There's one... And they don't even have a village, the Kakariko village in the center. It's just one fucking... it's just like one house with one plot of land for a tiny little like farm.
That's
It's
just
like,
so silly to
And I'm
me.
like, this makes perfect sense.
That's all things should be.
They had it in screenshots for Zelda 64, and it originally had like Cocos in it, and a girl NPC that didn't make it to the final game. And I'm assuming she was reused in Kakariko Village as the Coco girl who...
Yeah.
As the Coco girl who, like, you need to get all her cuckoos back. Cuckoo. And then, they found the beta overworld map, too.
Uh-huh.
And that one just has, like, a whole bunch of extra, like, horse jump stuff. Probably because they were just like, this map is still fucking huge.
We should make it so
We
they
should
have
make
to
it
use
so-
the hot horse.
Yeah. It's funny because it's smaller than the alpha map, but still bigger than the actual map we got, which is probably why they were like, you want to use a horse through here.
The, I guess, what's it called? Twilight Princess was designed specifically so you would have to use the horse to travel through it.
Yeah, I think that was the original idea of Ocarina of Time.
Most likely.
That shit should have stayed on the cutting room floor because it's boring as shit. It's
So funny because it's just like, oh, you unlocked Epona, you can now travel the world. And it's just like, have fun doing this for 7 hours.
Yeah. I mean, it's not Wind Waker.
That's true.
Which is just like, set the wind, go make a sandwich.
Pretty much.
I bet everyone's looking forward to this.
That was the best part about the remake they made. They were like, hey, get the smooth seal so you don't have to change the wind every 3 minutes.
Yeah, right. Steer the wind.
That was something I remember about that game not being like, why do we have to do this every fucking time?
Because all the games have a problem with fucking making shit simple for people.
What are you talking about? They're so great.
Play the Ocarina song. Literally play it. Push the buttons and play it manually every time.
What I hate was they show you how to do it in the menu, and instead of just being like, yes, I want to do that song, you gotta do
Yeah,
it.
you have to go do it. It's super tedious and annoying, and they do it in every Zelda game. Yeah, I'm well aware. Except for all those Zelda games that don't have instruments. You know, that's my favorite feature about Breath of the Wild. Is there isn't a musical instrument that needs to be played every fucking 26 minutes.
You just look at a fucking shit, a thing, and it just goes, hey, we're gonna teleport you.
Yeah, what a great system.
So great.
All the 3D Zeldas had a really big problem with that, where they were just like, every Zelda needs a musical instrument that is tedious to use and dumb.
What are you talking
And then everyone was just like, yeah, that's what I want.
about? That's totally
That's my favorite feature.
feature. It's not a bug, it's a feature.
It's a feature, and I love it.
Thanks, Todd Howard.
But yeah, fucking... What a fucking...
Fucking day.
What a choice. Although, I still gotta admit, it is cool that they found all this shit, because...
I think that's pretty actually really fucking cool, to be honest with you.
Oh, Deku Tree. I also forgot about the Deku Tree. They found the original Deku Tree. They found both the alpha and the beta Deku Tree dungeon.
Mm-hmm.
And the beta was, like, absurdly fucking difficult for, like, a first dungeon.
Oh,
like,
wow.
It's huge. Like,
I mean, the first dungeon's not that hard right now, but I'm... Probably because I have an adult brain now.
Namine's powers are being used to shuffle his memories as we speak.
Whoa, I didn't know that!
Nice.
It's almost like we played an entire game already.
Shut up. Listen to my emo bang.
Emo bangs. I mean, I would love to have hair like that. You're telling me you wouldn't, Chris?
I already do.
I know.
Vexen should take care of this. His replica is soon to be completed.
But Vexen despises Marluxia. Think of the mess it would make.
I am Stone Rock Man.
I think that's actually what his thing is.
I've no doubt.
I know he's coming up as the boss.
Whenever there's big burly muscle dude, if they're not stone based, then they're probably not made by a Japanese people.
It's true. Do. Where should we go? Traverse Town or Traverse Town?
I would vote for Traverse Town personally.
Good. I'm glad. That was the only option we had.
Yeah, with the original, like, or the Alpha Deku Tree is just kind of weird. It looks like they started making it and then got bored and stopped.
Don't you fucking love that?
It's like a tiny tree inside the Deku Tree that you can climb up a spiral, and there's like 5 stories of it that you can go through for like doors. And then the beta version is the exact same shit. It's like a 5-story tree that you can climb up through a spiral, but it also has outside doors along the edges of the walls too of the tree.
Okay.
And fucking like, it just would have been like unnecessarily complicated for the first dungeon in the game, and then you would have had to like, after getting all the way to the top, you would have got like the boss key, and then would have had to go down into the basement of the tree. Trees have basements, by the way.
Of course.
Down into the
Don't you
basement
know?
of the tree, to go fight the boss. Boss room is the same though. So clearly they were
That
really
boss
set on
room
that
is
boss.
something.
It's like,
Dude, I don't know if you've seen any of the load warping they do in that game. It's
oh,
the
yeah.
funniest shit to me.
That game was kind of ridiculous at this point, because they just like...
They've broken it to the point of breaking it.
Yeah, it's kind of, in my opinion, unfun to watch at this point, because
Yeah,
they
the
just like...
speedrun is just
yeah.
like a, hey, we're gonna...
I walk into a room, I hit 14 billion buttons, and then I teleport to the cutscene. What a great game. What a great speedrun. 5 minutes. 5 minutes, guys.
I both love speedruns and at the same time hate them.
It's like they know it's bad, though, because Zelda's the only fucking speedrun game that has fucking, like, 20 categories to run. Because it's like they know it's fucking boring to people.
Did you ever, in Super Mario Odyssey, there is a speedrun percentage called nipple percent,
Yeah.
and it's the greatest thing because the entire premise of it is to get Mario in a swimsuit so you can see his nipples as quick as possible.
Yeah.
It's the stupidest thing, but I love it.
I've seen it. It's interesting. It's...
Just one of those, like, is this really a fucking thing?
People, speedrunners are weird.
That is true.
But yeah, the Ocarina of Time one I always thought was like, because it's cool like the first time you see it, you're like, wow, that's so impressive, and then like, every time after the year, you're like, yeah, this is kind of boring, isn't it? Because it's just the same thing but slightly faster every
But you know,
time.
they gotta do it every year at GDQ.
Yeah. It's like, alright, I'm impressed that you can hit buttons in sequence really quickly to write code, but like...
Yeah, to mess with the game's
whatever.
code, but at the same time, I don't care.
Yeah, it's like, but also, like, whatever. Because they're literally hex value manipulating the game. They're literally changing hex values in certain data save areas to manipulate how the game loads next scenes.
Which is kind of cool.
Which is cool, but it's also like,
Why?
you can't really see any of that. So, like, it's just like,
I love it
I drop
because-
fish, I pick up fish, I drop fish again, I backflip, I pick up fish, I drop fish, I play Ocarina for 1 second, backflip, I pull out stick, I attack with stick, I teleport to dungeon. And
But,
it's like, what?
but the funniest part to me, Chris, is they're like, yeah, blah blah. It doesn't look very impressive, but let me tell you, it is impressive. They have to say every single time.
Oh yeah, it is really impressive, but like, it doesn't look impressive in any point.
Give me a speed run where you're fucking phasing through walls any day of the week, right?
Fucking the non-data manipulation runs are still pretty fun to watch, because those ones they'll just like go to the Master Sword shrine and like click through the wall and get Master Sword early and save the game and reset the console so they're playing as old Link and then get all the like dungeon medallions and the current timeline and then like teleport back to like
It's good, but
it's like got way more shit going on.
I love watching Oblivion speedruns because that game is so broken. Not Oblivion. Actually, let me phrase that. Any Elder Scroll game, because they're so buggy that it doesn't matter what the fuck you do. They just like, oh, now we're phasing through walls because Bethesda.
Pretty much.
Like that.
Nothing beats the Super Nintendo Harvest Moon speedrun though. That's the best one.
Not the one where you just sleep for like 60 days.
Yeah, and that's the one where you go to your bed and you sleep for 5 years. And the game ends.
Really bad, but it ends.
But it ends and you win. You get credit. And with that, we're going to pick this up in the next part. We'll see you guys then. Peace.